welcome to our next part of this journey. I'm so glad you're still here with me. I'm glad to have you on my journey. You know, I've always surrounded myself with a lot of people when I was doing this. It really does help. You know, I've learned to embrace editing along the way, getting feedback. And it's not just my song coaches, my song mentors, of course, my producer. But you know, there are nice song circles you can go to too and always get some feedback. And along the way, I've gotten my little nuggets, you know. And this next section to me is something I picked up along the way. Not everyone groups rhythm and rhyme together. I think they're inseparable. Every song has a cadence. Every song has beats. And I think rhythm and rhyme, the rhymes are so essential for helping that and moving your song along. So we're going to explore the different rhythmic elements. We're going to understand, you know, beats per second and how that rhythm can change and help you, and how you can craft compelling rhythmic patterns. All right, how to mix it up, when to mix it up. All right, so here's my question. What do all hit songs sort of have in common? Well, I'm going to tell you. Okay, I'll tell you. They have over 100 beats per second, 120. They're really energetic. Most of my songs don't have 120 beats. I'm not kind of a pop writer. You have to decide very quickly how you're going to set the tone and who you're writing for. That's like a whole different lesson. But your rhythm really does matter. Beats per second really does matter. And time signature, most songs are 4/4. There's nothing wrong with 4/4. You know, playing with moods, changing it to 6/8, which I've done for a couple songs. I Walk Alone is 6/8. Really can change a mood kind of quickly, just playing with that. So how do you unlock the power of the groove? Now, every song has a groove. Even ballads have a groove, a cadence, moves you along. And you need to understand what that rhythm is, what that pattern is, and how it fits with your lyrics and the rhyme of what you're saying. You're going to kind of explore the impact of rhythm and lyrical flows. What is the effect of the songs on rhythm and rhyme? I really want you to start listening and analyzing songs for their rhyme and how it drives the song. How does it fit into the rhythm scheme? Because they really are inseparable. Did you ever listen to a song and it's just dragging? You're like, you're not interested after a couple seconds. That's because their phrasing, the rhythm of how they're presenting things isn't as interesting as it probably could have been. Okay, so how do we use rhythm to develop the flow of a song? Well, that beats per second really helps to set the tone of a song. It's going to shape your listener's experience. You want to tell them in a few seconds what the mood of this is going to be. This is happy, this is sad, this is a little distress. How you are going to set that up and guide them through. Syllable count and stress patterns. You know, if you're doing 4/4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you've got this big long phrase, no one's going to understand what you're saying. You're going to miss the whole mood. Let it be. A lot of landing refrains and choruses are 3 syllables. And you want to then let it be, let it be. Let it be because I'm here. You want to stick to that cadence. And pick a cadence. Hot dog, Mississippi. 1, 2, bum, bum, bum. Or bum, 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 bum. And then you're going to fit words that are now fitted into your rhythm, what your pattern is going to be within your time signature. Okay? Varying patterns for interest. For example, there's a couple ways to do this. You have a verse, it's 4 lines. You might have the same rhythm for A and B, line 1 and 2. Line 3, you might want to make a little bit different and vary it and then go back to the pattern. So it's like A, B, A. Or you could go A, B, B. You know, you want to vary it a lot, consistently a lot, from verse to verse. You definitely want to switch it up from verse to chorus. In fact, you might have a nice slow verse, and then you might speed up your presentation in your chorus. Now, when you slow down the words, it makes it like, oh, how are you? Behind you, the beats are the same, but you're holding out words. All right, so again, you're driving the pattern and the tone of the song. That phrasing really does matter. When are you holding out words? When are you not? When are you rapid firing words? Okay. Varying rhythm patterns for interest is crucial, or you're going to lose your audience. You want to keep it dynamic, especially in a ballad, because there's going to be a point in a ballad where the listener is going to go, I don't care that you got hurt. You're just boring me right now. You have to find a way to keep it interesting and present it and bring them in. All right, here's our first assignment. Here's the assignment. I want you just to come up with some phrases. And then what I want you to do is play with patterns. Play with beats. The cat on the hat, the cat on the hat, the cat on the hat. You know, so vary it up using different patterns. Now, when we play guitar, we use them as drum patterns. Hot dog, Mississippi, hot, down, down, up and down. You know, so we're going to add that in later, you know, or if you're writing with instruments, you know, you can, you know, use your guitar and your strumming to have that kind of cadence, bump, 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 you know, as you kind of go along. So you can stop here and start playing, or you can save it, listen all the way through, and at the end we can kind of catch up with things to do. Okay, I'm going to keep going. All right, here we go. This is really important. At Song Circles, I think the number one pet peeve when I come to, you know, listen to lyrics, and I've gotten criticized for this before too, is really obvious rhymes. You know, you want the audience to be with you, you want them kind of singing along. You don't want to give it all away and be so obvious and cliche. And that's what happens when it comes to rhymes. I think it's like the number one biggest abused thing in songwriting is cliche, pat, obvious rhymes. We have to be inventive. We have to be able to get to say what we want to say and be clever about it, and that takes some doing. There are tools to help you. RhymeBrain is my go-to rhyming, and they have a lot of near rhymes, which I love. All right, so let's get into it. Rhyme schemes can go all kinds of different patterns. Now, not everyone uses rhymes. Most do. Somewhere along the line, you're going to see some rhymes. But let's keep it interesting and consistent. For example, AABB means line A at 1 and 2 are rhyming, 3 and 4 are rhyming. ABAB means lines 1 and 3 are rhyming and 2 and 4 are rhyming. And there's the example, life is not a highway strewn with flowers, still it holds a goodly share of bliss. When the sun gives way to April showers, here's the point you should never miss. So flowers, showers, bliss, miss makes it an A-B pattern. Once you start a pattern, it's probably a good idea to keep it consistent through verses, because now people are listening to it, and when it's not there, they don't know really what's off until they start thinking about it, but they're going to hear it's a little bit off and it's not going to flow. All right, so you want to keep it consistent. You know, you can do A, B, B, C, C, you know, or A, B, C, C, you know, but be consistent with that pattern. All right. Now, internal rhymes are one of my favorite tools to use. Internal rhymes and slant rhymes, which occur within a single line and across middle and the end of the line. Internal rhymes means you took one line and you somewhere in the middle and somewhere in the end, you made an internal rhyme. And I think it's a great way to it feels like the pacing of the song is picked up, but it hasn't. It's just really nicely driving the tension of a song. If you say close the shutters and keep out the cold, you think that life is gutters for the sick and the old. That's an internal rhyme. Okay, it's gonna really increase, and again, it feels like a really tight verse, and it flows really nicely. If you're going to use it consistently. Maybe you'll use it on the landing line, like the fourth line. You know, if you really want to drive a lot of tension, try to do it throughout the verse, and it really wrap it up. Again, be clever with your rhymes. Allow for slant or near rhymes. Again, you're trying to be clever. All right, it's not the easiest thing to do, but it does allow for a more natural flow, and it's not as cliche because people aren't looking for it, but they're like, oh, that kind of makes sense. So you're using a little license with slant rhymes in that you're kind of making things fit a little bit, but everyone's like, oh yeah, heavy spaghetti. Really not a rhyme, but Eminem's like, yeah, I'm gonna sing it this way, and it's going to work. Hey Jude, folks, heart and better are near rhymes, but the way they're singing it maybe it's their British accents. Maybe in Britain it's a real rhyme. I don't even know. But in American and English, it's a near, and we're all going with it. No one's like thinking about it at all, going, does that really work? Does that really work? It just does. All right. So, assignment number 2. This is a big module. Holy cow. But, another homework assignment. Try writing verses using AABB. Then write it as an ABAB. Add internal rhymes. And you know what? Might be interesting if you took a verse, maybe something you've written before, or poetry, or something that's out there, and keep reworking the same verse with all these different patterns, adding internal, some near slant rhymes. And I want you to see how it changes the feel and flow of the song. How does it drive it along? Does it chop it up? Sometimes you want that. And how does it really affect what you're doing and the mood of what you're doing? I hope you have fun with this. Take some time, and I'll see you in the next module.